Hey everybody, Fishman here. Welcome to another video. Well, as you're probably already aware, this is my current preferred design for aquarium lids in my fish room. I've been working with it now for a couple of years, and it has a number of features I really like. First off, they're nice and light. They're easy to move around, and when I do move them around, I don't have to worry about any glass-on-glass encounters with the fish tanks because they're made out of acrylic. But the most important feature for me is they're modular. You know what I do here. I test filters out, I move stuff around, I reconfigure to see what works best. And the nice thing is I can pull one of these off, two of these off, whatever it takes, and move them to another aquarium because they fit all my tanks. And that way, I don't, like I said, I don't have to have a completely bare aquarium while I'm testing out something small. One of the features I don't like about them, and any of you who've worked with acrylic for any length of time know, it tends to warp over time. I've come up with a design that really mitigates that quite a bit. Those lids you saw at the beginning of this are a couple of years old now, and I've only had to flip one or two of them, I think once or twice, which is really quite good. So you'll notice if you look at it closely that there is a bit of curvature to it, but it's not enough to actually interfere with their use or anything. So what I'm going to do here now is I am going to try making a lid out of Lexan, because I've heard from my source for acrylic and a few other places that it won't warp. And I had this old sheet kicking around. A friend of mine gave it to me a few years ago now, before all our current issues. And I've always meant to put a lid together out of it just to see if it was true. Now, if you remember a little while ago, I had a tank leak, and I also had another one that just changed the filter on. And those are now set up in a new setup for an experiment. But what that did is it left one of my tanks uncovered, and I figured this is probably the perfect opportunity to give that a try, because as you also know, I'm in the process of reorganizing the fish room, and I managed to unbury the sheet that I had, which, like I said, I got a few years ago, and subsequently just put a whole pile of stuff in the way. So what I'm going to do here is I just cut it so it just fits on the inside of the tank, and I'm making a number of acrylic brackets. What I'm going to do here is just weld them together, and then I'm going to stick 4 on as brackets so that it just slides down inside the aquarium. If you put a lid so it fits on top of a tank, you have to worry about water and condensation wicking down the sides of the tank, and I don't want that, so I'm going to have it set down a little bit. And then the 5th one is just going to be a handle so I can lift this up. And you're probably going to hear in the background right now some noise, and that is, as I mentioned in my last video, they're working on the water main system in front of the house, and I've been trying to get this video done a couple of times now and have it completely narrated without their noise, but as you can tell, it's just, I've given up. It's unfortunately, whenever I get close to being done and they start making noise, I have to restart. And after a while, you just say, okay, that's fine. My apologies, but it is unfortunately the way it is today. So when you weld Lexan, it is not as simple as welding acrylic. It does not. It's polycarbonate, just like acrylic is, but it's a different structure to it, so it doesn't weld nearly as well. Don't build aquariums out of it and that sort of stuff, but as lids it should be reasonably fine because there's not going to be a whole lot of stress on this. And I am welding acrylic to Lexan, so the acrylic should make up for Lexan's lack. If you decide you want to do a fair amount of work with Lexan, because apparently the price is roughly the same now as acrylic, use Weld-On instead, because Weld-On will stay in contact with both sides of the joint for longer, and it has a few other additives in it as well, and it will give you a better joint. But again, still, don't make aquariums out of it. It is simply designed for this sort of thing. And the reason why I'm leaving this at normal speed is to show you that I'm taking a little bit of extra care in the weld up. Not because I'm concerned about these joints breaking, but I want to test it out. I want to see what its limitations are. And also the design here, you can see there's no cross bracket on this as I do for my other lids. I want this to be just completely freestanding. It's going to have these four corners hanging onto it, and the rest is not going to be braced at all. It's going to sit inside the aquarium, and basically this is the worst possible way to do this. This is putting as much strain on it as possible, so to see if it will curl. If it doesn't curl under this situation, then I know that it won't under, well, definitely not with the lids I'm currently making. And that's basically the real only reason for doing this. Like I said, I like the other lids a lot. They have a lot to say for them. They're robust as well. This is only 1/8. I did originally, when I was making lids, have a design out of acrylic with 1/8 inch, and I pulled them off and I worked on them. And every now and then, as you're doing something, you just, you're not taking the best of care, and I've cracked a few of them. And that's another thing I want to test out while this is going on. I want to see if this stuff is resilient at all. Lexan is supposed to be tougher, but this sheet is quite old now. It was a used sheet when I got it, and as you can see with all the scratches on it, I haven't taken the best care of it. I found it was a bit brittle, so that's another thing I want to test out to see if this is something even old Lexan can do. And there you go. This is it. It's done. Just a simple weld for the lid here now. I'm going to let this cure for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to put it in place, and we'll do, obviously, updates on this on the Sunday vlogs. I don't think anything is going to happen with it anytime soon, but we'll see. I mean, like I said, this is set up now so that it is, if it's going to curl, this is going to do it. So it is very straightforward to put these in. I mean, that's the nice thing about this sort of design. It just plops in like that, drops down, and it's nice and tight actually, which is really kind of cool too. So it'll cut down on water evaporation, and of course fish jumping and all those sorts of things. There you go, that's it. I'm going to let this sit for a while, and we'll see in time. So like I said, you see these lids here, these some of them have a little bit of a curl to them, and but like I said, I really like those. They're very easy to work with. And this one here, we'll see in time. So thank you very much. Leave comments. Let me know what you think of this. Again, it's all scratched up only because this is an old sheet, but we'll see how it goes. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and bye for now.